YouTube, what is going on? If you've spent any time in Destiny or even Destiny 1, it's easy to notice how toxic, egotistical, arrogant, crybaby-ish, yeah, crybaby-ish, that the Destiny community can seem. The divide that exists between the 1% and the rest of the 99% of this game is huge. Amongst the nerfs and the seasonal activities and the DLCs and the sandboxing and the terrible PvP experiences, and the list goes on and on and on, there's an ever-growing disgruntled community. 1 month, you'll have everyone singing Bungie's praises, putting out incredible content, talking about the game's potential, and then the next, everyone is just taking a dump on the game. This community seems to have more mood swings than a temperamental teenager going through puberty. Big name creators like Asdacross and Glad and Mtash will constantly toe the line between creating helpful information and content and then rage baiting for views. Anyone new to the game will immediately be frustrated when LFGing and being met with titles like Know What to Do, and as well as a list of accolades and light levels that you have to be at before you're even able to be in their presence and receive any type of help from veterans of the game. The arrogance of clans and their laundry list of qualifications in order to enter the clan breed arrogance and allow ego to thrive around every single turn. Players who are so keen on bragging about their 3.2 trials KD, yet not willing to help anyone actually get better, plague weekend servers in this game. Overall, Destiny can be one of the best places to unwind and game, but it can also be one of the absolute worst places to try and have fun. That, in my opinion, is directly linked to the toxic community. So why does it seem like Destiny community is one of the most toxic, most whining, most arrogant, most negative communities around? Well, here's my shot take on these issues. Number one, PvP and PvE elitists are making this game unapproachable. Not everyone can devote 14 hours a day to playing this game. This community consists of content creators, of disabled individuals, of middle-aged people that have families and careers, and even kids who get to play after school or a little bit on the weekends. Congratulations on your solo Crota run. Congratulations on your solo Master Dungeon clears. Wow, so impressed with your list of lighthouse cards. Now, how about you stop staring at yourself in the mirror and you go help this person who's trying really hard to be a fraction as good as you are so they can enjoy the same game that they spent the same amount of money for. At the end of the day, nobody cares about your accolades. It's a video game. Number two, negativity breeds negativity. As I said in the intro, this community seems to live on mood swings. Content creators are constantly jumping ship, and they begin to lean on the negative side instead of being ambassadors for the game that they've created so much positivity for. The rage baiting exists from big name creators and creators in general, and that's just fascinating to me. All it takes is a couple of videos from someone who has a little bit of clout, and then everyone jumps on board and they get in on the action. It's wild. I get it. Bungie has done a lot of stupid things, a lot of things to frustrate us over the years. There's plenty to complain about in this game, but that goes for almost anything in life. Life is tough. Get a helmet. Humans are communal by nature, and as soon as we see someone yelling loudly and spewing negativity, we want to be included and to be heard in that. So we jump in and we just make situations worse. There's no reason for that. You can be mature. You can control your emotions. You can be upset about something. That's a-okay. Stop adding fuel to the fire. Plus, you don't truly love a game until you hate it, right? Something like that. I don't know. There's a philosophy lesson in there somewhere. Number three, entitlement. The Destiny 2 community is extremely passionate about the game. This is a double-edged sword because on one hand, you have a lot of passionate people that are going to bring a lot of engagement and attention and feedback to the game, but then it can also lead to toxicity and entitlement with players feeling like Bungie is supposed to answer every single one of their problems. I'm going to say something that a lot of people might not agree with. This may be a very polarizing topic. Come here. Please get in so close on this one. You are not a special butterfly. That doesn't mean that you're not special. Every human being on the face of this planet is special. Whether you believe that or not, that's just the truth. Whatever. Just because you got to complain about something does not mean that Bungie's just going to swoop on in and fix it. So what do? Because you feel like you're not heard, you just want to whine and cry and kick and scream and throw a tantrum in the middle of the floor, and everybody's just watching you. And a good majority of them are like, oh, I want to throw a tantrum too. And they jump right in. The amount of content on Destiny is unbelievable. The amount of content that you can play without having to shell out major coinage for this game is crazy. Just because you suck at the Crucible and you want to complain about being matched with someone who just took a dump all over you does not mean that you can whine about it and the magic Bungie genie is gonna come through and answer all of your wishes. That's not the way it works. I have been playing PvP for a long time. In Destiny 1, it was a much different experience than in Destiny 2. I would love to blame the game and Bungie for the fact that I suck at Crucible. I get dumped on all the time. I might be average, maybe a little bit above, maybe a little bit below, but I'm somewhere there in the middle. I don't go through and dominate lobbies. I don't go through and run cards on trials and have all the success in the world. I don't get to complain about the game because I suck at it. That's not the way it works. I now have the choice. Am I going to jump in? Am I going to keep on grinding and pick one thing today that I'm going to get better at? Or am I going to complain about Bungie sandboxing and sunsetting and all of these things that I want to complain about? Am I going to complain about hackers and cheaters and all that kind of stuff? You know what? I've been guilty of it and I do it all the time. That does not make it right. I'm just not good at certain elements of PvP. I can get better. Fortunately, this game is here. I can just come back and play it. It's great. That's a good segue into number 4, which is skill-based matchmaking. I think we can all agree that skill-based matchmaking sucks. It's in a lot of games, and it's absolute trash. Bungie, just stop it. Moving on to number 5. This game is good, and you know it. Passionate people express themselves passionately when they care. And that's one thing that you find a lot in this community. There are a lot of people that are very passionate about this game, myself included. I care a lot about this game. I could talk about it negatively for an hour straight, but I still care about this game. Sometimes that passion that I'm expressing comes out as being hostile. It comes out as being outrageously negative. It comes out in a lot of bad ways. But genuinely, when I'm genuinely expressing myself from a healthy standpoint, the passion in my voice is showing that I care a lot about the game and I want to find a way to fix the issue here. There's obviously an issue. Let's find a way to fix it. We've cared for this game for a long time. This game has been out 9, almost 10 years. We've seen what Bungie's capable of. You know, and I know. Starting with Halo, coming over to Destiny, you know what Bungie's capable of. Maybe they lost direction. Maybe they lost their way. Maybe they made some mistakes along the way. But that's why we're sticking around, because we know that we would rather sit around and deal with some of the problems than to abandon the game altogether. So while you're here, and while you're just kicking and screaming and complaining about the problems and hoping that someone lets you take your ball and you just go home, why don't you just become part of the solution of this? Band together. This community has a lot of sway. We've got a lot of influence. It's a very big community. There's a large crowd involved when it comes to people who play this title. So why not just start being positive about it? Stop putting so much heat on Bungie and making them feel like absolute garbage when they're trying their best, albeit they do make mistakes because there is the human element involved with everything. Play the game, fall in love with it. If you hate it, then move on. So to wrap this all up, Destiny 2 isn't the problem. The players are. There you go. I said it right there. Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. Destiny 2 is not the problem. The players are the problem. The negativity and the toxicity is the problem. The constant bashing and berating of people who aren't already up to speed. They're coming into the game for the first time after this game's been out for 9 years, and the people that have been here for 9 years are bashing them. That's part of the problem. The people who love this game, fall in love with it, sing all of its praises, and the moment that something shifts or they take something away or they make a mistake, then all of a sudden it's the worst game in the world. That's part of the problem. There's a small, toxic bandwagon crowd that speaks loudly and breeds negativity, but there are even more positive and healthy gamers playing this game that are willing to help, and they're still advocates for a strong community. There are a lot of people that have been putting out a lot of good content, a lot of good streamers, a lot of good discords. I'll put some of those links down below so you can check them out. Those are the positive people in this community that agree there are problems, there are difficulties, there are complaints, But that doesn't mean that this game is just a complete waste. And for sure, there are going to be frustrations and skill gaps. That goes with every single game that you're going to play. That does not mean that the game is bad. And funny enough, that means that, let me say it, I'll say it softly, that means that you're bad. Bungie is making an effort to be more transparent with the community. I don't think they've done a great job with this in the past. I think they're trying to do it now. Again, there's going to be some growing pains. They're going to figure some things out with that. But I think that every game developer needs to be transparent with the community, especially when you're putting out content as rapidly as Bungie is having to do. They're working on it. I agree that there has been a lot of frustration, but I think a little bit of transparency with them is going to go a long way. I think the sandbox balance is very crucial, and they're working on that too. They've acknowledged it. They've addressed it. All of these weapons that have been sunset or removed or whatnot, they're bringing them back out of the vault. They're bringing back old raids. They're bringing back old content. They understand that we put in a lot of time and a lot of effort to achieve these things. You can't just take them away like that. They're working on it. Be part of the solution, not the problem. Be part of the solution, not the problem. Don't sit around kicking and screaming. Don't sit around whining and complaining. Find a way to be part of the solution, not the problem. If you don't like the game, if you aren't having fun, if every time you log in, it's misery for you, if you stay awake at night because you're so mad at what happened, if all you can do is think negatively about this game, please do me and the rest of the community a favor. Kick rocks and go down the effing road. You don't need to be here. If you're that miserable, please do me a favor, and you can tell me about it in the comments. You can send me an email. You can come hang out in the stream and talk to me about it. If Bungie, at some point in the 9 years that this game has been out, issued a decree or created a law that said that you could only play Destiny for the rest of your life, please show that to me and let me know, okay? And then I'll retract my statement. Until then, if you have a problem, just get the F out of here, dude. It's not that big of a deal. It's a video game. Do you know how many video games exist out there? There are tons of good games for you to go play. Don't sit in here and stew in the negativity and wallow in self-pity when all you're doing is making it more difficult for yourself and everybody else around you for no reason other than the fact that you just want to whine and cry and someone to pat you on the back of the head and say, oh, it's all going to be okay. Grow up. It's the small, negative, degrading bullies that are giving this community a really bad name. It's the veterans of the game that have been around that don't even create content. They don't even put content out there. They don't help anybody. All they do is try and better themselves and their characters and all this kind of stuff, and they only care about their KDs or their Crota clears, their raid clears, their whatever. They're creating a legacy in this game for themselves. They're not doing anything else to help anybody else out. Those are the ones that are creating a bad name for this community. And it is a very bad name. When I was doing the research for this video, it's not that difficult to find a ton of articles talking about how terrible the Destiny community is when it comes to being toxic and negative. We don't want that. This is a great game. We want people coming to this game. The more people that come to this game, the more that Bungie can do in the future. That's what we want. That's what we want to support. We want to lift up the people around us and create a positive community, a good positive vibe. That's what we want. If you have someone who's bullying you, if you have someone who's tearing you down because you aren't the light level that they want you to be, you don't have the KD they want you to be, the chances are is that they're spending 14 plus hours a day doing this game and nothing else. It has become their life, and every achievement and accomplishment in this game is how they equate their value in real life. Those are the kind of people that are not healthy. You do not want to be around those types of people, and they are all over this Destiny community. Wrapping things up, finalizing all of this, build up the game. Don't shit all over it. Build up other people. Don't dehumanize them. Grow up. Have fun, go game, and become legendary by your own standards, not everybody else's. Your standards are what matter. I want to get better at this one thing today. I want to accomplish this rank. Find a way to get to that. It is possible. If anybody ever needs help with raids, if you need help with anything in the game, you know where to find me. You know how to reach out to me. I'm here. I'm available. We'll do it live on stream. We'll do it off stream. I don't care. We'll find a way to help you out. That's what this Destiny community is all about. As always, thank you all for viewing the video. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the comments. If any of this helped you, please like and subscribe for more. Follow me on socials. Come hang out on the stream. You guys are incredible. You're legendary. I don't care what your KDs are. I don't care how many Crota clears you've got. I don't care how many raids you've accomplished. You're still incredible. You're still legendary. I appreciate you all for being here. Thank you, as always. You guys be good. Be positive. Be good at it. I'll catch you next time.